The Southlink line in Taiwan, between Fangliao and Taitung. This is a beautiful railway line that only opened in 1991 as the completion of the railway line around the island. Along this route you will find the Breezy Blue, an old-fashioned train where the windows can be opened and where you get lots of touristic information. Despite the very touristic character, I really enjoyed this ride and I'll show you why in this video. Join us on board of this train, the Blue Breeze here in Taiwan. What is a touristic train, an old train, and actually I really like it. For now, let's get this video on the track and let's roll.
The intro!
I couldn't have booked this without her, by the way. We arrived in Fangliao from Taipei, where we stayed with my parents-in-law. At the moment we arrived at the station, we were being welcomed by this little Breezy Blue miniature train. I really like it. Also within the hotel, the Breezy Blue Train has been clearly advertised. The hotel where we stayed had a swimming pool at the roof, what was absolutely great to cool down. We discovered Fangliao a bit, however, because we were here on a Monday evening, there wasn't much going on, to be honest. The night market is not every night at this little town, but it's still a really nice and cute town to walk around and to discover the place. In the evening we took some more refreshment dives in the pool of the hotel at the rooftop. From where on you also have a great view on the town, including the station and the bus stop that is located not too far away from the station. If you want to travel by bus to Kenting, what is absolutely worth it by the way, you have to take the bus from here. So I'll be back here for sure. And even though there was no night market at the moment we were here, there were lots of good food options. I mean, we are in Taiwan after all. This here is the bus stop by the way, and this here is the way to the railway station. The railway station and the bus station are really the center of the little town. It's just a really cute town, I can't repeat this enough. We actually planned this trip pretty last minute. The Breezy Blue Train is operating most days of the week, but it's not always available, especially not last minute, so we were lucky on this. On how to book your train tickets, I really have some comments on this and I'll get back to this later on in the video. This is Fangliao railway station. And right at the front there are some taxi stands, and once again if you walk a little bit more to the front, to the bigger street, you will find the bus stops. However, for the Breezy Blue Train we need to go to another spot that is located a little bit at the side of the railway station. As they call it themselves, this is the Breezy Blue Station. This used to be a kind of accommodation for the Taiwanese Railway Administration, the train staff, to sleep over if they had longer working days or schedules. And now it's the kind of the starting point for our trip. Well, let me tell you one thing. This train is super touristic, but still I liked it, to be honest. They have some cute artworks on the building as well, including the Neo shape of the train as you can see here on the right. Anyway, my wife booked the train tickets on the website of Lion Travel. That is very bad in English by the way. And over here we have to exchange our reservation into physical tickets as far as we understood. And these were not really physical tickets, there were some, well, goodies as well. Like a little fan, hand fan, kind of a key card you need to give back after the ride anyway for some audio guide, a sticker, the earplugs for the audio guide, and some more general information. On the tickets also a carriage number was being added, and apart from the carriage number also I think something that was mentioned as seat number was given, but apparently it's just free sitting. You will just go to that carriage number, and these were apparently the amount of bookings, so in the order of when we made the booking for that specific carriage. We couldn't select a carriage though when we booked it, this will be assigned automatically. I opted for the vegetarian meal on board of the train, while my girlfriend went for the non-vegetarian meal. If you are a Muslim, I really advise you to choose for the vegetarian meal because the non-vegetarian meal probably contains pork. And apart from that, if you choose the vegetarian meal, it's much more sustainable for the planet because meat is quite polluting. There is a small souvenir shop as well, where I also purchased a tote bag. That was almost the same price as the train ticket we bought, but it was really nice and cute. Because this is such a touristic thing, people took pictures as you can see here with the whole sign in front of the Breezy Blue station where we got our tickets. And we didn't have assigned seats. My ultimate goal was to be on time in the railway station and to be in front of the ticket gate as much as possible. Normally, if I'm in Taiwan, I'm here in the winter time. This is actually my first time visiting Taiwan in June. It's not even the hottest month yet, and it was really hot when we made this journey. If we go in the winter time, we basically save on the heating at home and we save on the air conditioning in Taiwan. So in terms of money and environment, it's the best thing we can do. Anyway, I won't dig in that topic too much for now. This here is the main concourse of Fangliao railway station. It's really old school like you can find on the smaller towns here in Taiwan. Around the railway station, at the front basically, you find lots of shops. And within the railway station you find a staffed ticket counter, a vending machine for tickets, a touristic information point and a small kind of convenience store. Also there are clear displays with information about departing trains. And this display here about the Southlink railway line that we'll be taking today as well. What was the last section to complete the railway line around the main island of Taiwan and has only been opened since 1991. And since 2020, late 2020 I have to say, the Southlink railway line that we'll be traveling on today has completely been electrified. And while we were waiting, some big groups came here as well. I was starting to get worried about this topic. Anyway, I was one of the first to be on board of the train. However, before we continue and show you the train and obviously the awesome views from the train, I hope you like this video so far on this train. If you do so, or if it's a helpful video to you, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you have some questions, feedback, comments, even if you just want to say hello, feel free to leave a comment. And if you'd like to see more trip reports, this channel is mainly focusing on long distance and or international traveling. Well, this is an exception when it comes to that, but it's a really nice train journey. Then hit that subscribe button if you haven't done this already. For now, let's continue with this video. And for this, let's go to our train at Fangliao railway station. You do find elevators at this station as well, and of course, the stairs. However, because I felt like there were quite some people waiting in the main concourse of the railway station, I just want to be on board with this train as soon as possible and have a good seat on the right side. Before you go to the platform, there are clear screens that will host route information as well, and this is not only in Mandarin Chinese but also in English. Our train today departed from platform 2. Platform 2 hosts 2 tracks, and the tracks have been mentioned basically as platform 2A and B. In Taiwan, the track numbers are not mentioned, only the platform numbers. Keep this in mind. Anyway, the tour guide for our carriage was checking basically the tickets and gave everybody the audio guide, which I obviously did not use because it was all in Mandarin Chinese. The tour guide does have a wireless microphone, and this way he can inform people about things that along the route, etc. This is actually really nice, and once again, if you don't speak Mandarin Chinese, it's not very useful, and therefore I really didn't listen to it. Also, this train is very noisy. So yeah, actually I didn't care, I just enjoyed the ride on board of this train. Now, before I show you the train, and of course the views from the train, let's take a close look at the exterior of our train for today. Our train is being pulled by 2 diesel engines of Taiwanese railway class R100. These engines can be found everywhere around the world and are worldwide better known as the EMD G22 series. Now, since 2020, the entire railway line around the island has been electrified, with the Southlink line that will be taken today was the last section that has been electrified. The diesel engines are still being used for some routes, like for example these touristic routes, and also for some smaller branch lines, and then especially for the freight trains. The carriages, I honestly don't know what Taiwanese railway class these are. If you know this, let me know in the comments. However, these are definitely older carriages. From what I understood, older trains in Taiwan also used to have these blue colors. In terms of accessibility, as you can see, they will lay some kind of bridges, so in that sense, this is a perfect train. At the outside, there are some basic information screens in Mandarin that will host the route information, and that's basically it. The train makes some more stops along the way, and as you can see at this stop over here, there were some other trains that could pass us. Some more trains passed us over here in both directions, because a big part of the route that we'll be traveling on today is single track. Well, in terms for the exterior, I think you understand it. For now, let's take a close look at the interior of these trains. The train makes some longer stops along the way. I'm going to go out and film, make pictures of the surrounding area. It's quite beautiful actually, but it's also the opportunity. You almost have an empty train, and I can show you the train. Let me walk you through. These carriages, quite full, but this comes on the more long distance train composition. I mean, this is a touristic train, don't expect too much, but you find the fans all over, there's no air conditioning. You can open the windows, and back in the old hot days, you also have these things here to block out some sunlight to make it not too hot if it's really hot in here. And then of course you find the fans. The switches for the fans should be here, I think here at the side maybe. Yes, here you find it at the side. But to conserve energy we have to turn it off if we are at the stops. I don't think it takes a lot of energy, but okay. And these are the seats you can see over here. I think they're pretty comfy. Let me test one out. I haven't tested it. I think this one looks... Oh, they are occupied. And no buttons here, but... pretty comfy to be honest. I mean, the amount of legroom is also quite okay. I'm kind of tall boy. This is pretty comfy. It's old school, but it's comfy. You do find some seat numbers as well at the side. Over here, window and aisle is also mentioned, so W and A. Although you cannot, we also have this. I don't know, maybe if you're on this carriage you have to go to your assigned seats. I don't know exactly how this works. Let's move on to the second carriage. But not before, we do a toilet review. And these toilets are pretty modern. Well, they don't dump everything in the toilet, what is absolutely great, and the trash, what is absolutely great. But they do have an old style toilet as well, I'll show you in a bit. Oh, sorry. People are getting slowly more on board of the train, so let me walk through. Oh. I already been to that toilet, it's also a more modern style toilet. Here you find some seats in the length of the train as well, just like in our carriage. But this is more a combination of what we have in the carriage we had before. Still pretty comfortable seats to be honest. I think this is originally for the train driver or sort of train staff. And here we are. This is our spot. This is where I filmed the views from the train. If you watch the views from the train video, you can hear me saying all these things. And this is our carriage here. But it's actually really nice because there are not that many people here, so it's easy to move from left to right, what is perfect. And can you imagine back in the old days when people stood in the train, maybe in rush hour like this, in the heat, and then these fans you find on these trains are absolutely a lifesaver. I mean, this is my better half.
Melting one.
Yeah, we get these little fans. I think maybe I already told you in the video, but we get these little fans as well. But it's actually really nice. And it's not made out of plastic. Normally these things are made out of plastic. During the elections in Taiwan, a lot of politicians hand out these things in plastic, and I would say, like, I wouldn't vote for the one who put it in plastic. I mean, there are lots of great things about Taiwan, but if there's one thing I really want to criticize, it's the amount of plastic usage. Let's see, this is maybe the old school toilet. It's closed, let me see later. I think this is the old school toilet, babe, or not?
So old school? I'm not sure, I haven't used it yet.
Okay, I saw 2 toilets already that were not old school. Let me walk on before everybody gets on board. This is the 4th carriage in our train. And we have a little, this is also typically for Taiwan, also Japan. You find these stamps you can put in a book. And we don't have a stamp book. That's a bit of a pity.
You can stamp on your ticket.
I can stamp on, oh, it's size for the ticket actually, the same size.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that later. And here, there was a shop at Fangliao as well. But here they have the shop again. And actually this is pretty cute. You can buy some cups, some other souvenirs. It's really cute actually. So let's move on to the front of the train. I think this is where they keep all this storage and everything for the stuff. And this here is the front of the train, and this here is the same carriage as what we have. And then in front of that you will find the engines. Let me walk a bit more to the front. Here we are. And I think another room for staff. Can you imagine back in the days commuting in these temperatures without AC? That's crazy. That's really crazy. Let me walk a little bit back to our carriage not our carriage, but what you do find, I mean, we travel with luggage. We make a round trip now, or not really round, we make a trip. But you do find luggage racks as well for luggage. You can also put it under the seat. So for luggage it's okay. Would I say it's a comfortable long distance train? Absolutely not. But the seats are nice. It's a touristic train. You can open it. This is where it's about. It's not about a serious way of transportation. You want to go fast? Just take your regular trains. They will pass us by every now and then. We make quite long stops, but it's just an awesome way. I remember the first time, actually, when we traveled around here, and we traveled on this route. It was the other way around, by the way. I was so disappointed that it went so fast.
I think it's a slower train, but you can have a great view.
Yes, because then we were out of the tunnel and then we're like, boom, nice views, and then in the tunnel again. And here you just stop at the spot where the nice views are. Oh, they even have a mailbox over here.
Is it a real mailbox?
I think so.
You even have something in hand to take photos.
They have more stamps here, by the way, and they have.
Oh, this is the most south.
They have the things you can hold for the photo, like photo props.
Yes.
So where are we now?
Not here, but I think we will.
But do you see the current station?
No.
Okay, that's a pity. Otherwise, we could make a picture.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the toilet. They open it, and it's they blocked it over here because this is how it used to be. They dump everything straight to the track. But you cannot walk in. They blocked it, as you can see. Well, they also had some chilled drinks on board of the train in the kind of shop, and this was a special themed drink. Every time we went off board, the tour guide gave some hand sanitizer to sanitize our hands, and he was just really passionate telling about the route. Also, a bento box was included in the ticket. They overhanded it on the south to north route relatively early, I have to say, but it's really nice. You get some chopsticks and also some fruits is included. Guava, mango and some tomatoes. This area where we travel through is well known for the mango production, and the mangoes here are really fresh and good. Later on I also went back to one of the first carriages I showed you. I was wondering if I could turn the seats because this is typically Asian. And yes, you can. This way, you can have quite a lot of seats into the driving direction. This train is a commercial train that's being operated by Lion Travel, what is a travel agency in Taiwan. They do have some offices at railway stations as well. I think if you go there, you can book these trains as well. However, the information in English on the website of Lion Travel is just very disappointing. It's pretty much non-existing. They tried to make an English website one day for these trains, but they didn't update it. So yeah, it's basically not working. If you want to book these train tickets yourself, I think the best thing you can do is to translate the website literally. The train we take is not very fast. The diesel engines don't accelerate fast either. You can imagine with the electrification of this railway line, the timetable has been improved a lot. And especially because most electric trains that will be used on these routes can accelerate pretty fast as well. Along the way, the train makes some more stops. You cannot book tickets from these stops, well, with this train, but at these stops you can go out and, well, enjoy the stops and get some more information, etc. The longest stop takes around half an hour, but there are some more shorter stops along the way. I also recorded the views from the train for the entire route without voiceover or music like in this video, and I'll publish that video simultaneously with this specific trip report on the Trainviking Passenger POV YouTube channel. You can find a link to that video in the description of this video. For now, just sit back, relax and enjoy the views from the train, and I'll get back to you at the very end of this video. back at Fangliao, we took this train. Actually, we continue to the high-speed railway station and take the train from there to Taipei. Let me get on board before it departs. But I hope you liked this video, or this has been a helpful video to you. If so, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more trip reports, in general this channel is focused on long distance and or international traveling. But this is really an exception on this. If you'd like to see more, then hit that subscribe button if you haven't done this already. Before we really end up this video, one last thing. Once again, thank you for watching. If you want to see the views from the train, I will publish this on the Trainviking Passenger POV channel. And if you like to see other trip reports, you can find them on this channel as well. Apart from that, in the description of this video you find a link to a map, and on this map you can find all videos as well. But then on the map, see you on the next one.